What's up, guys? D-Rock 1992 here. For this next video and for my next About video, I'm going to be talking about a multi-talented guy. He's a music artist, he's an actor, he's a television star, he's a movie star, he's he's a singer, a very popular singer. He has had a long career in the music industry. And the guy I'm talking about is Justin Timberlake. I talk about him because I actually saw him yesterday. I watched the iHeartRadio Music Awards, and they honored Justin Timberlake for all of his successes in the show. And the guy just is... He really has had a long career. He's had a very good career. And without further ado, I'm going to talk about him. Now, I'm just going to very briefly, get into his career with NSYNC. Because, originally, before he went solo, he was part of the band NSYNC. NSYNC, they came out in 1995, and they disbanded in they broke up in 2002. He was the most popular member of NSYNC, and he had a lot of great hits with NSYNC. I'll just mention a little bit here. I'm not going to really get into anything like that, but It's Gonna Be Me and Bye 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 are a couple of the big hits that that NSYNC put out. And they had 3 studio albums, 18 singles. So NSYNC was one of the best boy bands of the 90s for sure, along with the Backstreet Boys, Boyz II Men, and all those great boy band acts, But like all those bands, they broke up. And once NSYNC broke up, Justin Timberlake was free to do what he wanted to do. So, he came up with a solo career. And his first album was actually the year he broke up with NSYNC, 2002. It was an album called Justified. And it hit number 2 on the Billboard 200 and went actually I don't think, or it did chart triple platinum, a triple platinum album, and it proved that Justin Timberlake could be successful on his own, because he really was the breakout star of NSYNC. When you think of NSYNC, you think of Justin Timberlake. Be honest, we definitely think of him. He released a couple of singles off Justified, Like I Love You, Cry Me a River, which is a good song, Rock Your Body, and Senorita. So those were the 4 off that album. That's pretty much it. Rock Your Body is probably the top single. It's a good Justin Timberlake song. I like the song a lot. So yeah, that was his first album. It proved that he definitely had a lot of success. That he could have a lot of success on his own. 4 years later, in 2006, he came out with his second release, Future Sex Love Sounds. It hit number 1 on the Billboard 200, and it went 4 times platinum. It was a big success, an even bigger success than Justified. Future Sex Love Sounds, almost every song on the album is good. Sexy Back, probably his most popular track. My Love, which is a popular track. Love Stoned, an underrated one from him. Summer Love, and the other 2 singles off the album, Until the End of Time and What Goes Around Comes Around. Um, Again, a lot of great songs. Sexy Ladies, Let Me Talk to You. Another underrated Justin Timberlake track off this album. Damn Girl, a very underrated track. Again, there were a lot of Justin Timberlake songs on Future Sex Love Sounds that were big successes that I really like. You know, this is the album that really he broke out as a solo artist with that. And then, for a long time, he didn't make any other studio albums. He didn't follow up on the success immediately like a lot of artists do, because he had a movie career as well. And I'm going to get into the movie career after I talk about the music. His music career, his next album came all the way in 2013, so he had a long hiatus away from creating a studio album. I mean, he was still a solo artist, but he hadn't released one since 2006. 7 years pass until we get another studio album from Timberlake. And we get the 2020 Experience. It hits #1 on the Billboard 200, and it's a big success. It goes double platinum. And there are a lot of great tracks off this album. A lot of stuff I really like. Suit and Tie, probably the best single off the album. One of the best. Mirrors, which is a very good single. And also a song called Tunnel Vision was released off of this album as well. Push Your Love Girl, another great song. And a couple other ones. That first 2020 Experience album is one of Justin Timberlake's best. And then he came out with part 2 of the 2020 Experience later on in 2013, the 2020 Experience 2 of 2. Also hit #1 on the Billboard 200, and it went platinum. It wasn't as much of a success as its sister album, but Take Back the Night was the top single off the album, and a couple other singles, TKO and Not a Bad Thing. And just another big success from Justin Timberlake. Bottom line, another big success. And let's see here. Let the Groove Get In. Another good song off the 2020 Experience. The 2020 Experience recordings. So, again, another big success for Justin Timberlake as far as his albums go. He's only released 4 studio albums in his career, solo studio albums, but there's no doubt they all have been very good. As far as releasing another album, let's see here. I don't think there's anything coming up, but I don't think there's going to be another #1 album. I don't think that there's going to be anything else coming out as far as a Justin Timberlake recording anytime soon. We might get one in another year or so, but it depends on how many acting roles he takes. Because he is definitely in the acting business. He's an actor for sure. And before I get into the acting, I'm going to actually talk about the singles. He had a #3 single with Cry Me a River, which was a success off Justified. Rock Your Body was a number 5 single. He had a number 1 single. He had number 1 singles with Sexy Back, My Love, What Goes Around Comes Around. So he had those 3 singles off of his second album. He had a number 6 song with Summer Love, a number 3 song with Suit and Tie, a number 2 song with Mirrors, a number 8 song with Not a Bad Thing, and a number 9 song with Love Never Felt So Good off of the posthumous Michael Jackson album. So he definitely has had a lot of successes as a solo artist. As a featured artist, he had a number 1 single in 2007 with the song "Give It to Me," which was a Timberland song featuring Nelly Furtado and Justin Timberlake. He had a number 5 single with 50 Cent, "IO Technology." 4 Minutes, he had a single with Madonna, was a Madonna single. A number 2 song with T.I., "Dead and Gone." And number 4 song, "Holy Grail," with Jay-Z. So, no doubt the dude has a lot of talent, a lot of musical talent. 4 studio albums, a lot of great number 1 hits. The guy has had a great musical career, and the reason I mention his musical career first is that's what he's most known for, with NSYNC and with his solo career. Now I'm going to get into his acting career, because he's been in a few movies. He definitely has been. And I've seen a couple of them. Let's see here. His first movie was a role as himself in the movie Long Shot. And other than that, he starred in a few over the years. But the first movie that I recognize on here that he was a voice role in the 3rd Shrek movie, Shrek the Third, in 2007. He played Artie, or in fairy tale terms, King Arthur. Basically, eventually would become King Arthur. Shrek the Third was a big success in the Shrek series. 2008, he came out with The Love Guru. He played a guy named Jacques Lecoq Grande. Very interesting double entendre name. The Love Guru was a Mike Myers movie. I talked about that. The Love Guru was such a failure for him. But Justin Timberlake was in the movie. In 2010, he stars in The Social Network, the movie about Facebook. He stars as Sean Parker, a guy who helped out with Facebook in Zuckerman's career. He starred in the animated movie Yogi Bear that came out in 2010. He played Boo Boo Bear. 2011, he has a few movies. Bad Teacher, with the movie with Cameron Diaz, about Cameron Diaz's character is a horrible teacher who smokes pot, and Justin Timberlake's teacher, he plays a teacher that's actually a good teacher, and Diaz's character falls in love with Timberlake's character. Friends with Benefits with Mila Kunis came out in 2011 as well. This is one of those movies about Kunis and Timberlake both want to be friends with benefits. Basically, they're not in a relationship, and all they have is sex, basically. It's basically just sex with them, and then they don't have to get emotionally involved. So it's basically a movie about that. He starred in the 2012 movie Trouble with the Curve, with Clint Eastwood and Amy Adams, a baseball movie. Runner Runner came in 2013. He starred in that movie with Ben Affleck. It's a crime thriller film. And a little movie called Inside Llewyn Davis he starred in as well. he had a supporting role in the film. Directed by the Coen brothers. As far as television goes, he is most known for his Saturday Night Live episodes. He has been himself he has been the host or the musical guest for 15 episodes of Saturday Night Live between 2000 and 2013. Actually, 2015, he actually was in the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary. He had a part with Jimmy Fallon. Some sketches that he's known for on SNL were the Andy Gibb and Barry Gibb talk show. Very funny sketch on SNL. The Shake, he did a couple of these sketches. He was like he dressed up as like this milkshake or something like that. He took over at these places, like he tried to sell products and stuff like that. You might know what I mean, but I can't really explain it. But what I'm trying to explain, it's a funny sketch as well with him. He started in The Simpsons in 2001 as himself. And, I mean, he's been the host of the Kids' Choice Awards in 2007, the MTV Movie Awards in 2003, and the ESPY Awards in 2008. So he's been a host as well. And that pretty much wraps up my video on Justin Timberlake. He's a multi-talented guy who has been a talented guy for years in the industry, and he only looks to get better, definitely. Whether that be in movies, music, or both. So we'll have to see. And I hope that he and Jimmy Fallon make a movie at some point. I really do. I really hope so. That's high on my wish list. Because they just have an amazing chemistry that's been apparent on SNL especially, and then Jimmy Fallon hosted the Late Night Show, and now he hosts the Tonight Show, and Timberlake has collaborated with him a couple times with those shows. So that's very neat to see. I hope there's a movie coming. I really hope so. So get talking, Timberlake and Fallon. And that's it for this Justin Timberlake video. D-Rock 1992 out.